Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video, as you can see by the title, is me just talking about how to honor yourself as a woman. I just felt to pull out my camera to talk about this, how to really honor yourself as a woman and what that really means and what that looks like for you. Also, if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to stay updated with any new upcoming videos. So this is coming from a very personal place. I feel like I'm at a stage in my life where I am just now really learning that this whole time in my adulthood, I have not truly honored myself as a woman and just as an individual as well, which is totally fine in the sense that I just didn't know any better. If you're anything like me and you're at an age in your adulthood where you're like, man, I just don't feel fully satisfied as a woman and I just don't feel like I'm stepping into that woman role that I want to step into, or stepping into that empowerment, just know it is okay. Don't be hard on yourself about it, and moving forward, make conscious decisions and also be very conscious and aware of your thinking and what you're saying to yourself and what you're speaking to yourself. So number one, how to really step into being empowered as a woman is put yourself first. Put yourself first. And I know it may be easier said than done, but putting yourself first doesn't always look pretty, doesn't always feel satisfying, isn't always what you want to do, but it is what is needed for your internal self and your soul and your spirit and your mind. Putting yourself first means taking care of your health, working out, saying no, speaking up for yourself, and really acting on what you know is best for you and not people pleasing. I personally have struggled from people pleasing, and I am learning how that is not the way. It's not gonna get people to like you anymore. It's not gonna satisfy those people, and it's not gonna satisfy you. So why do it? If anyone's gonna be satisfied over a situation that is very uncomfortable, it should be you. Don't worry about hurting other people's feelings. Don't worry about what the other person is thinking. And as far as when it comes to taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, it'll feel good later, and you will thank yourself after doing what you didn't necessarily want to do, but what was needed for you. Number two is really understanding who you are and knowing your worth and your value. I want to try to really condense that. I don't know, I may separate how I worded that a little bit. Maybe not, I maybe will just keep that as number two. But what I really want to focus on is understanding who you are. The more you understand who you are, the more you'll be able to know your worth and know your value and what you really have to offer and what you will not settle for. Some people are very blessed and fortunate enough to just grow up from their adolescent or just their baby stages. When I say baby stages, I mean like elementary school. Grow up from that to their adolescent years to their adulthood and have always known who they are and what they're worth and their value. I really believe that that comes from the parents and their surroundings and the people that they were around. Some of us were not fortunate enough to grow up in a household where we were given the necessary tools and taught how to have the right mindset about your worth and your value. And it's not their fault as their parents. They didn't know any better. So I think that that is a factor into some people just knowing and understanding who they are. For those who don't and are still struggling with knowing who you are, understanding who you are, and knowing your worth and your value, you have to do some deep soul searching. And that, again, is not something that's always going to be very graceful and pretty and easy at all. Doing a lot of soul searching may bring up a lot of emotions. It may bring up a lot of tears. It may bring this uncomfortable transition in your life because it's not something you're used to. It's uncomfortable. You're so comfortable with this old identity that you have, or not even old identity, but you're so comfortable with this identity that you have that it feels strange doing this soul searching and it may feel confusing too, because you were hardwired with who you are and what you're worth by the things that were spoken to you or spoken around you. And I don't think a lot of people really took that into consideration, that the things you say to people, and as parents, the things you say to your kids, the things you surround your kids around, it's gonna affect them as an adult. I don't know why people think that when you go from being a kid to a teenager to an adult, something automatically just snaps in as an adult. And if you feel like you're at a point where you kind of know who you are, you just haven't really stepped into that. Really train yourself and really program in your mind who you are, because that will lead you and guide you into really stepping into that and actually living that. And people will naturally see that and start to feel that. You will start to feel it more and more the more you tell yourself and the more you show up for yourself about knowing who you are. And lastly, the third thing that'll help you to really step into your empowered self, being an empowered woman, is tapping into your feminine qualities and traits. This may be an unpopular thing, but hear me out, because I tend to have, everyone does have a masculine side, a masculine energy, and a feminine energy. So as a woman, tapping into your feminine qualities and traits looks like being okay with being soft. Like, you don't always have to fight, you do not always have to argue. Standing up for yourself is one thing, and that's something that I mentioned earlier in this video as number one, is, you know, putting yourself first. And that putting yourself first does look like speaking up for yourself. Yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, being soft, you don't always have to argue with people. Like I said, completely different from standing up for yourself. Being kind and very nurturing, and that doesn't always mean you have to be in a monogamous relationship to be kind and very nurturing, but maybe showing that off to your friends, or even to yourself, or to other people, strangers, saying thank you, looking people in their eyes, buying yourself flowers, putting yourself in a nice, pretty, beautiful dress, being kind to yourself, cleaning the house, cooking a meal for yourself, just all of those very feminine qualities and feminine things that really bring femininity. Getting your hair done, getting your nails done, those qualities are just more something that's very welcoming and inviting and warm and gentle and soft. So cooking, cleaning, doing your hair, grooming yourself, grooming your body, taking care of your body, allowing people to take care of you. So I just have those 3 top bullet points that I really wanted to just discuss today and really put out there today, because it was on my heart. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.